I'm Matt Huff with Poe & Kronk Real Estate Group.
I am Mickey Gray. I'm the president of the Rail Yard Dogs.
I am Mac McCadden. I'm president of the Melrose Rugby Neighborhood Forum.
And I'm Landon Howard, president of Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge.
Thank you all so much for taking the time to introduce yourselves and present your organization. So at this time, I'm going to pass off the order of the evening to Councilman Nash.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna just stay right here and speak so that the guests who have come to watch can see me as well. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. It's a Thursday evening. You could be anywhere else, but you've decided to take some time out of your day to come here and be a part of this conversation. And I really, truly do appreciate that. This is our third session. Today, we are continuing to pluck the minds of all of our wonderful focus group participants and simply provide them information to then gather their thoughts on and hopefully come up with some ideas that myself and my colleagues on city council and our wonderful city manager and city administration can use as we go forward in the future with our planning and development for what we want the Berglund Center to be and become. So once again, I just want to thank you all. And at this time, can I just introduce Mr. Howard? Not quite yet? Oh.
Thank you so much, Councilman. I'd like to also acknowledge our city manager, Ms. Val Marie Turner. And we also have Mr. Mark Nelson from Economic Development also in attendance as well. I'd just like to acknowledge our city leadership at this time. So if you will come over, Mr. Landon, or would you like to do it from here? That's fine. And just begin your presentation for the evening. Thank you. I think we're working on getting that together. So while we're working on this, Mr. Landon, can you just sort of begin speaking about tourism in the Blue Ridge, and then we'll catch up with your.
Thank you. First of all, to each and every one of you, appreciate the opportunity to come and speak this evening. And Councilman Nash, thank you so much for your leadership. I mean, being able to talk about the possibilities for our future is just really incredible and exciting, really exciting. So thank you for that. And I will also say thank you to the city manager for all the work she does as well. In terms of tourism, we're a thriving industry already here. We've had one of the most thriving 2 or 3 years that we've ever had. For fact, in 2014 was a record year, and then we finished 2025 as a record year as well. And so I do have a graph that I will show as soon as y'all can pull that up. Let's see here. Anyway, so I will go ahead and continue, then we'll catch up. In 2024, we had a total economic impact for the Virginia's Blue Ridge region of right around $1.4 billion. And that helped to employ nearly 8,000 people, which is very, very, very significant. Direct spending was right around $923 million. And the city of Roanoke received the bulk of that. It was around 58% of the impact. Direct impact was $534 million for the year, which grew substantially from the previous year. To put it into perspective, our visitors ended up, when it comes to the $534 million, food and beverage, they spent $147 million in food and beverage. That's at our restaurants. And then also $53 million in gifts, $85.9 million for hotels and lodging, $62.4 million for recreation, $186 million in transportation, and most importantly, that ended up generating $25.5 million in local taxes, tax collections. Now, to put that into perspective for the city of Roanoke, there are 43,429 households in the city of Roanoke. And if you take the 25.5 million in local taxes generated, that means that each household saved $587 each for each household. So that fresh new money coming in from visitors, when we give them a good time, they enjoy being here, they enjoy our food and our outdoors and our arts and culture and everything else that we have to offer. And lo and behold, they end up depositing about equivalent to $587 per household into our economy. So how did we do in 2025? I'm happy to report that our hotel revenues were up 5.8%. And put that into perspective, the state was up 1.9%. So we were up nearly 4 times higher than the state of Virginia overall. And hotel revenues for the whole nation was up 0.4%. So we outpaced in production and actually room revenue 5 times higher than the national average. One of the things we enjoy doing is looking at, okay, if each household receives for the Virginia's Blue Ridge region, which includes the city of Roanoke, city of Salem, Roanoke County, Botetourt, and Franklin, that is $347 per household. So we call that equivalent to 2 to 3 trips to the grocery store. And I did say 8 tanks of gas, but just recently, I think we better knock it down to about 5 or 6 tanks of gas, given where the gas prices are going. For 2025, we had well over 2 million people come to our website and look at what we have to offer. And that was up 11% over the previous year of 2024. So we're becoming more and more and more popular as a place for people to escape to. And our spring campaign in 25 was really successful. We went into Northern Virginia, DC, and Richmond, and it ended up producing, just the campaign alone, $18 million. And so it ended up for being a 28-to-1 return on our investment, just from going into those markets and tell them all about what we are and who we are. Then we did something we haven't done it to this magnitude before, and I see that Tina Workman's here from DRI and has some wonderful events in downtown, and so we ended up really focusing in on the holidays and Christmas and the events associated with that, and had some of the best successes we've ever seen. I mean, we had 40 million impressions and 1.5 million digital engagements, and so our visits to our website were up 64%. So people really loved what they were seeing and what they were experienced when they came here. And to get you an idea as to how this has impacted our markets, for Bristol, it was up 756%. For Stanton, 309%. Greensboro, 220%. Durham up 127%, Winston-Salem up 231%, Charleston up 700%, Charleston, West Virginia, and Charlottesville was up 238%. So it was really just overwhelming success. There it is. Okay, we can keep going forward. So looking at, let's see here. Yeah, we can keep going. Okay, and one more, and one more, and keep going. One more. There we are, and one more. All right, so for the holiday seasonal campaign, hotel revenues were up 6.9%. And if you look at the state, it was up only 0.1%, and for nationally, it's only up 0.7%. So promoting this was very, very successful. And so moving on in 2025, we also, on the next slide, ended up hosting an incredible number of sports. And our sports produced 47,000 room nights with 82,000 attendees just in 2025 alone. And then if you flip forward one more, here are the sporting events that we're hosting in 2026. I mean, it's pretty incredible how much we're hosting right now, and the popularity of all types of different sports, whether it be soccer, whether it be volleyball, softball, any kind of racing sports, VRSA, and others, and of course USA Cycling. If you move forward, you'll see the next one, Hotel Roanoke. They let us know that they had one of the best years they've ever had. Their room reservations, one of the best Octobers they've ever had. And if you move forward to the next slide, Explore Park, they had over 50,000 people go to Explore Park, which is great. And we had USA Cycling here, which will be coming back this coming summer in July 2026. We're planning on having even more attendance and people participating this year than we did last year. And moving on. Of course, Salem also benefits from this. They are known for sports, but believe it or not, when they host sports in Salem, a good bulk of the people end up staying in the city of Roanoke. They host the sports, and then they literally are spread all over the valley. And they keep going. And we love to say that if you don't need a ski slope, we pretty much have it in our region. And one of the things that's really popular up on the James River is the Outfitters. That's up there, Twin River Outfitters. And what they've seen is a huge increase in people from out of town. 60% of people that go down the river with them come from more than an hour away. They move forward. So our spring campaign has gotten off early. We've actually started it in February this year because we were seeing in the markets that people are hungry to find places that's close by. And so we've gone into DC and Richmond and also Norfolk and Virginia Beach. And we're finding that Virginia Beach is actually one of the most popular sites that we've gone into in terms of just people searching our website and planning trips to come here. Next slide. So where are we? We're through the first 2 weeks of the campaign, we generated 172,000 visits. And that's out. The pace has generated over 800, at this point, it's 800,000 potential website visits, which all of that turns into actual visitation and money in our economy. And so March website traffic is looking to outpace anything we've ever done in previous year. And then if you look at Visit VBR is currently receiving 17,000 brand new visitors per day to our website. 17,000 people that have never shopped us before are coming to our website right now per day. That's how popular that we're becoming as a destination. And so having that and just knowing that a new market like Virginia Beach is really producing well, I think we're going to have another record year for 2026. We're just so grateful for the city of Roanoke's support and for city of Salem, Roanoke County, and Botetourt and Franklin County. All of us work together to promote the region. We're stronger together. We have more to offer by being together. And our competition is not each other. It's actually other mountain vacation destinations, whether it be in the Poconos or whether it be Asheville and other markets like that. We have done very, very well, and we have our own identity. The city of Roanoke is the capital of the Blue Ridge here in Virginia. The city of Roanoke owns the mountains. Everything that we have here really comes from the mountains, whether it be our outdoors, our arts and culture, our food. So much of what we identify with comes from these beautiful mountains that we get to see every day. And then the next slide. And I just want to thank, again, the city of Roanoke for the partnership that we have, and look forward to sharing great news as we get through the season.
Thank you so much, Mr. Howard.
Thank you. Can I ask one question?
Absolutely.
So participants, feel free to ask him any questions that you have. One of my questions is, you came from New Orleans and helped with their regional marketing about being the third coast of the United States. And in New Orleans, they implemented casinos. And so could you speak a little bit to how they did that process? What were some of the pros and cons? We're having an open conversation about this process. So what were some of the pros and the cons? And what are some of the initiatives they took to make sure that these casinos didn't cannibalize the local economies?
Big question, but I'll do my best. When I moved here, I was the chair of a board of 10 destinations on the America's Gulf Coast, from beaches of South Walton, Florida, and Pensacola, and going on over the Gulf Shores and New Orleans North, Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, all the way over to Houma and Lake Charles. Louisiana and Mississippi had quite a bit in the way of casinos, and because I worked with them for about 8 years, got to know those markets quite well. I was impressed with how New Orleans handled, especially the development of Harrah's in downtown on Canal Street, where it wasn't one of these big casinos like you saw in Mississippi, which is the big floating barges like the Beau Rivage or Margaritaville, but it literally kind of complemented the French Quarter and what was on Bourbon Street, and it was there as an offering for folks. But they also wanted people not just to stay in the casino, but to go out and discover New Orleans and do other things and spend their money in other places. Unlike a lot of casinos, like on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, whether it be Bay St. Louis, Gulfport, Biloxi, their job is to get people into the casinos and keep them as long as they possibly can. But the key is to use it as an attractor, but it would also positively impact everything around it.
Are there any other questions for Mr. Howard?
You can ask me the question afterwards, but this is just for the participants right now. But you can definitely connect afterwards.
Okay, so at this time, Councilman Nash, this is the activity.
So you all know we love our activities. And today, I'm putting you all back in the seat as quote unquote council members. And so this activity today is basically focused around how would you control the revenue? So last session, we gave the participants a budget, and they had to pick and choose the amenities, the offerings, how much they were going to put towards the deferred maintenance for the Berglund Center. They had to build their own entertainment district. Well, in this particular activity, we want you all now to decide how the revenue generated from the entertainment district should be used. Where are the priorities? So we have on here a dollar amount that is an average of $20 million, which is what the average local portion of the gaming tax that the other localities in Virginia kind of get annually, around $20 million. And so you all will go over to these tables over here to your left, and the sheets are there, and you can simply put the dollar amount you think should go towards local businesses, or the amount that should go towards public safety, the amount that should go towards street paving and sidewalks, beautification, or what should go towards all types of other options that are on that sheet. So if you all could please get up and walk over to these tables. And yes, Mr. Mack.
Councilman Nash, I think it's important that our visitors here understand that when you made up the council, it wasn't a council made of everybody agreeing that this is what it is that needs to be done. I think it's important to know that you went and you got a broad number, a variety of folks with different ideas, and some did not agree with what it is that's going on in terms of the understanding what the committee should be, but also understanding that there are different views here. Some of us may or may not be in agreement. So I want everybody to know that it's not made up of people of like minds, of same thoughts about what should be going here or what should be improving in the Civic Center. It's a conglomeration of folks who some agree with what the proposal would be, some who do not. And I think it's important that our folks understand that, because otherwise I think it means that maybe they were being force-fed this opportunity.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. 2 tables. Okay. So if you all can go to, we're going to do 2 groups of 4. So you all can pick who you want on your team. And I'll come over and kind of help explain or answer any questions that you all need. All right. Thank you.
Well, that's where all the restaurants are. That's where all the hotels are. It's all machines and stuff. There's no blackjack tables where you're actually playing blackjack, wheels, and yeah, that none of that kind of stuff over there. It's all just machines. But casino here, the city is allowing gambling in the street that has these machines and grocery stores. Gambling is just ridiculous. And so these people gambling, they're going well. I want to know how many years of data Mr. Howard has. Is this 1 year, 2 years, 5 years of data that he's compared? I understand. Historically, how many years of data does he have? I understand. Yes, Nash. You gotta make sure this comes in the first place for this person to say. Because it just loses the sound. Did you have a meeting here before? What's the most people you've had in the audience since COVID? Been here half hour. I'm trying to ask a question. You would know the answer to. So, I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it, inviting the public to come. I got a question. Answer invited us to come. Why in God's name are they off over there having their own meeting? Now, I don't understand. It's one person who lives in the kitchen. I don't understand. I don't disagree. I just can't. You said it over this menu because this is where the seating. But what difference does it make? Hold it. They could have had this meeting in city council chambers where the sound, everything. Yes. Thank you so much. Sure. Count on it. So, how long have you been doing it? We see. I'm going to ask you a question. Like I said, I'm not hoping you can answer because there's going to be another question from some of my education. It's very honest. Washington, D.C. Salem gas, it's just sparse and Salem too. We're sitting in this, but it seems to be surpassing what's happening in the cities. I know we very good about 66 years old, about August 60 years. I understand about accommodations. Some of these larger, that whole process. Coliseums and all have great accommodation. I'm assuming you know more than me, and maybe I'm assuming right. Correct. That part I do. So across the street. Okay. Where was that? Okay. Yeah. It's actually schools about 29 so maintenance and operations. Maintaining schools are the same. Oh, yeah. One other thing I noticed too, coming in front of this is I was talking to the man I was talking about the city of Salem. He's in the city casino. He's going to the casino there. At different times, all the tourist activities. It's terrible. It's terrible to judge it. Keep tourists all spending about the way they put it. Notice more and more so than talking about it. His words were, they got to like something man, there's a week. I hear this all the time. And people, if you leave like 5 people that were there, not the hours, get out of First River Road there, Peter Street, and you're approaching the west side of the disposable income over there. On both sides, they achieving need is to buy groceries and pay rent. It goes on the side of the course is someone who else have run the week out. You also came to see a show there or whatever it is. So I hadn't, and as you thought about it that way, today's ARS is not getting better. It's like no one is going to truthfully be, it could be detrimental to correctional sections. Hoping the dynamic. And one thing about this is that I agree. Like you leave Peter Street Road, that's what you're getting up to here. That's just one spot. We're seeing west part of the city, southwest, east, Williamson Road, up and down the Williamson Road area. But it's really shocking coming out of town.
This is like your third meeting.
And I'm not,
No, this is.
it's coming in from the south, and it's off 220. And you, I don't know, this is my first one that I'm leaving. Cities are really, So to me, if you're not going to consider that fast, that
And I lived in a, I don't
think
the casino, I lived in a casino, this
group,
group that,
if they're going to be
I
making
lived in a casino
recommendations
town.
to the city council,
They're amazingly well lit.
they're doing,
It's killed time.
doing citizens.
It might not be the casino model for success, but I never had
I don't know how
issues.
you can
So I
measure
don't
that.
have
They talk
objection
about
to it. And I'm not necessarily advocating.
2,000.
I'm okay with it. I lived around for 10 years ago.
When you're out and about, residents back in the city of Roanoke, you gave
40 years prior to that.
still $500 more.
Folks at the time, they had some, my family's always great.
That's why I want to know what data do you have? Is this one time? Is this 2 times? Is this 10 years of data?
No. But I used to come up here, I had some friends that went to VBS years back. I lived in Wally all the time.
Manipulate data to support
Yeah, I'm in here with
whatever you say.
I don't think they're complete negatives. Some people might call it just adding advice. Some people.
Households.
My view is just it's an entertainment form. Yes, I'm not.
When you look at talking about Roanoke City, Berglund County, by the time the city was saved, this is where it wasn't clear to me. Is that
I do take 3,000 living in Nevada.
the city of Roanoke? That's probably correct.
Take a flight out of Ringo.
Yeah.
Right.
We go there quite frequently.
Yeah, some grocery stores had them in there. But there's some use to it out there. It's tightly, it's much more tightly monitored than say.
Everybody through census or
But those are true
the city generates this. I'm guessing there's something
they're just used to it out there.
census that defines how many residents are
I was out there. Smaller casinos, certainly. Nevada has just been doing this for decades. They just know they got their people to monitor it. Make sure.
that kind of thing is bringing the locals. I don't know how that's counted.
I live just over here. Living in
I think it's nice meeting whatever they are for the down.
casino in
I don't know how many,
like Scott Falls.
I don't know how many apartments or townhouses or whatever they are.
Absolutely.
That,
And it keeps graduating.
how many families there,
Yeah, it was getting too nasty. I saw that last crash last August. 6 people in one there, 3 cars. I rode past it.
one of our housing projects.
It looked like someone just built it. You have 3 cars for that.
I don't
Something.
know,
I
so
think they did the right
well,
thing.
we need to ask the question
Yeah,
about
improve what you
years of data.
I'm okay with it.
Is to, so. It actually very much so. I think the last time,
I moved those
2000. So that's very significant if you stop and think about all that. There's one adjacent to.
Yeah, I've noticed that the peak hours were left. I don't even think of left-hand turn unless I go 20 miles. Exiting my neighborhood. I just go down to Huntington. There's a light. I don't. That's what they're wanting.
In the city
You
limits.
exit the neighborhood, go to the nearest light, and make a left. Out of the parking lots,
But
during
they
peak hours, I can see that
representation. It's much more, it's Roanoke County, Roanoke City,
I don't see it at this
City of
point.
Salem, Franklin County.
Avalanche of
Bottom top.
problems.
So
And just measure it.
is that,
What the was just sort of around
I
your
know,
building. I've done that. I know
the
it's not
City of Salem
perfect,
is
but
about,
it's one of the roads and bridges.
yes, 35,000.
If they keep
So-
it, they
so
are going
third
too
of
wide in
Roanoke
the center
also
of
is
the
the City
lane,
of Salem.
about 6 inches
Much
wide.
smaller.
They're gonna make the bike lane narrower, 6 inches on each side, if they keep it, and that'll improve some flow.
So, I don't know, this is,
The buffers out.
to me,
I went to the focus group on it, and believe it or not, some people said they didn't know how to use a center turn lane. That's why they didn't know what to do. I just stop. What do you want?
No, that's your copy. That's your copy to speak to. And you'll speak to it. Esteemed focus group members, thank you so much for participating in the activity. And now we would like to have open discussion led by Councilman Nash.
Thank you very much. So over the past we'll call it 2.5 sessions, since we're about halfway through this one, you all have been given a lot of information. You listened to a lot of people speak at you, but we want to hear what you all have to say. We want to hear what questions have been formed from the information you've gathered and the information you've heard, and what are things that you all have heard still from the community. And so to give you all some food for thought and to kind of help get the gears turning, we have some comments that were sent through email, and these are redacted versions, so no one's personal information is out there, but these are all emails from folks in the community, and we're going to share with you all what they've sent in. And some people have sent in some really good ideas that I think is very important for you all to be made aware of and hear. So it'll help us open up our open conversation, and then also help us as we go, and I explain later on in a little bit, you all's homework, because y'all got homework. Y'all didn't know that, did you? So if you want to read the email.
Oh, sure. So to summarize the emails that we received, the topic for this email encapsulation is titled, "Why Not Build a Multi-Sport Facility at the Berglund Center?" There are proposals for a casino and adult entertainment activities at the Berglund Center, suggestions for a different approach to bring money to the city, competitive swimming and lacrosse. A lot of folks play travel sports. The region could benefit from a competition pool and more facilities for all sports. Coaches have a hard time scheduling games and practices due to lack of available space and hosting big meets or tournaments. Roanoke doesn't have a true competition pool at all, so youth must travel, which can present disadvantages. Sports tournaments are big business. We travel at least once a month to other cities for swim meets. Lacrosse, volleyball, and soccer tournaments are almost every weekend for kids who play those sports. While there, we pay for a hotel, shop, and spend money on restaurants and entertainment. Typically, hundreds of kids attend these events. This could be a potential revenue. So that was one comment that was received at the email address. Are there any comments or thoughts to that? Okay. Next category, native of the area would love to see larger venue. After being too small, two similar sized coliseums such as the Greensboro Coliseum, I think there is a lot to work with in our city. It would be great to see more bands other than country shows and more metal and rock bands. Individuals in our city would pay to see these types of bands. A casino may unwanted attraction. I would prefer expansion of these existing venues to allow for larger shows, perhaps purchasing property in the area to create a larger venue. So I think this writer is requesting more music diversity outside of the country music that they seem to highlight. Third comment, create a family-friendly area for the Berglund Center. Other cities about the size of Roanoke have done this successfully, and they are fun to visit and are a destination spot. Our historical focus on being a family-oriented city with safe, fun activities has made this city a great place to raise my family. Perhaps locate the first Ferris wheel at the Berglund Center along with restaurants, activity zones, etc. Any comments? Next comment, an IMAX theater for the Berglund Center and other ideas. Pairing it with the Science Museum and Planetarium would add tremendous synergy to the project. We could also put the proposed Ferris wheel at Berglund. This might be a better location than Center in the Square. Install a zip line from the Hotel Roanoke to the Berglund Center, a funicle elevated railway on Mill Mountain. Those are popular in Europe and efficient to operate. There's also one in Pittsburgh. It's a cable-driven railway designed for very steep slopes. Comments, panelists? Revitalize the Berglund Center. A casino could lead to addiction. Instead, touch up the exterior to give it a fresh look and consider a mixed use of community and convention type activities. Once the center is revitalized, it creates sustainable marketing campaigns to put it on the map and into people's minds, both here and nationally. Use these areas as models. Bring in the entertainment industry and CEOs out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and Charlotte for leadership, re-education, and guidance. Planning and landlocked. Look at parking first before you plan on revitalizing the Civic Center. It's a draw to the city. A casino is a draw to the city. Cities are starting to thrive because of casinos. Concentration on housing. If you are going to want to draw more people, provide more housing. Parking. Look at more parking, more housing, and then build or renovate. Topic, focus on the homeless. Use Richmond as a model. Study the feasibility of commercializing Mill Mountain with hotel, multiple restaurants, including a very nice one with outdoor seating for views, gift shops, and enhancements to the zoo. More Christian concerts and ice skating shows. Create a world-class sports training facility. Also, instead of paying for a feasibility study, partner with Virginia Tech. Make family entertainment top of the list for demographics. And lastly, partner with others. The Virginia Tech Athletic Department is currently seeking to raise $75 million to renovate their basketball stadium, perhaps an opportunity to partner and create an entertainment district rather that is more strategic venue for Virginia Tech basketball games than Blacksburg. Those were some of the comments from the email address. Are there any comments or thoughts on anything that was read? Yes, sir, Mr. McAdden.
I think the notion that the last couple that you read talked more about regionalization of activities and the I do believe that that's the way to go. I think folks have to realize where we are. You know, they talk about the thriving of what's happening in Danville. Well, Greensboro's 14 miles away. Winston-Salem's 30 miles away. Raleigh-Durham's 40 miles away. That's a regional approach, even though it's saying it's Danville. It's regional. I think that we're looking so much at Roanoke City instead of looking at what the region needs. Because if we're only talking about Roanoke City, I don't know if you're going to draw enough people in here rather than us giving back to ourselves. I do believe that that an approach from the regional standpoint is the most likely to benefit not just citizens of Roanoke, but people in Benton, Salem, Montgomery County. I love the idea of partnering with Virginia Tech. We hadn't done that. Where would Hotel Roanoke be right now? So I think that that we need to not just look at what happens in Roanoke City. Roanoke City is not going to be able to do it with just those of us who are here. It's going to have to be a regional approach because we don't have a Charlotte or a Greensboro or Raleigh within 40 miles from here. So we have to look, I think, at our neighbors to help get anything passed.
Thank you, Mr. McCadden. Any comments to his thoughts?
I think I would definitely agree that a regional approach would definitely benefit the area. I think that everyone should pay attention to, though, all of the comments, right? So the city is in a very interesting place because we have dueling banjos. We have a lot of folks who are saying, they want to have more family-friendly things. We need to have entertainment that's focused on adults. This is not an easy decision to make. And to say, let's just revitalize this particular building is $40 million worth of restoration that needs to happen here. The parking situation is still an issue. Saying what piece of property where are we going to build a bigger facility? Because we know, I don't know that we know, but we are limited in the spaces that we have to be able to build upon. So I think that all of those things are taken into consideration, but a regional approach would open us up, but also we would have to get buy-in from those locales also to partner with us, in those endeavors. But still, what are we doing with this space? So we still got to talk about what we're doing here, right? So I do think the regional approach is the solution, but we also have to talk about what we have right now, so.
Thank you, Ms. Ross. Any additional comments? Okay. Councilman Nash, if you would like to discuss the Blue Ridge Behavioral Health.
So also some material we can add to our conversations. I had a meeting with some folks from Blue Ridge Behavioral Health, and I went to them and said, I'm leading this initiative about an entertainment district, and one of the ideas that we have is a casino, right? Everyone knows it. That's one of the ideas that's on the table. And one of the issues, one of the potential cons of a casino is the concern about gambling addiction and people who have a problem with gambling. And so I went down, because we're not trying to hide anything. We're not trying to run from anything. We know that's a potential issue, so we're addressing it head on. And so I went to our folks at Blue Ridge Behavioral Health, sat down, and told them to give me the lay of the land. And so they were kind enough to put together some information and send it out for you all that has information about some of the data they're seeing directly in our area, in Virginia, and at the national level when it comes to both gambling and gaming. And part of your homework assignment is to review this and then give us some of your thoughts and some of your opinions on it. But some of the information that I particularly found interesting in that I wanted to highlight was that 57% of Americans last year in 2025, 57% of Americans participated in gambling. And in 2018, 79% of Virginian adults participated in gambling. And there's about 5 to 10% of Virginia adults who experience harmful or problematic gaming behaviors. And I thought that was very interesting. Additionally, in 2020, when the state of Virginia, and I have to commend our folks in Richmond, our process in Virginia, I think is very good. I think it's very regulated currently, and I think that they have been very strategic about where casinos have gone and the thought about how the money generated from them at the state level is utilized. And part of that money is utilized for a problem gaming and support fund. And that was created to give funding to organizations like Blue Ridge Behavioral Health to make sure that they have the funds they need to focus on prevention, treatment, and recovery for those who do have or may develop or are at risk for gambling or gaming addiction. And additionally, what I really found shocking and was really eye-opening for me was that the culture of gambling and gaming, there was 41% of young adults between the ages of 18 years old and 25 years old were exposed and gambling. And the way they were most commonly doing it was through video games. So if your kid is buying Fortnite skins with V-Bucks and they're opening up random packets hoping to get random skins for their characters, your kid is gambling. Roblox is the same way. The sport games like NBA and Madden are the same way. And that was really shocking. And then, of course, I think one that is really ingrained into our culture and that we're all fairly familiar with, and so we don't even really perceive it as gambling at this point, is the lottery. But part of that 41% of young adults who had participated in gambling was through the lottery, which is, been around forever. We all are very familiar with it. Most of us, when it hits about $1 billion, go and buy a ticket or two. I know I do, just to see if I get lucky. But please take this information home with you, review it. We would love to hear your thoughts. If you have anything additional to add right now, we would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you have any questions based on what you've seen so far, please let us know, because that is good information that we want to know and get answered for you and bring back to you next session.
I have a question, Phazhon. I mean, I think we're all pretty well aware of the rise of sports betting and gambling. And whether we admit it or not, we all have a casino in our pocket at any given time nowadays. Whether we choose to use it or not, this is a casino in your pocket. So I guess my question as I'm thinking through this is, do we know if there's a difference in communities where a physical land-based casino exists in gaming addiction versus one that doesn't? Because it's pretty prevalent. In my experience, it's been pretty prevalent everywhere now that sports betting is pretty much legal everywhere, and you can bet online in a number of ways. So I guess my question would be, is there community-specific data where there's a casino versus where there's not, and differences in rates of gambling addiction?
That would be interesting. That is not something I thought to ask, but that is definitely something that I will connect with them and do some research on my own, and we'll try to get you an answer for that by the time we have our next focus group session. Thank you for that.
Any other questions for Councilman Nash?
I think I do have a question around, outside of the type of betting, what is the difference between Rosie's and bringing, like, the betting or the gambling that happens there? Have we seen any increase in, like, Blue Ridge Behavioral Health saying that they've seen any increase in services that they've had to offer since Rosie's has been in Vinton 10 minutes up the street?
When it comes to locality specific data, I can definitely ask that question and get that for you. But when it comes to the difference between what Rosie's is, when you have something like a slot machine, some of them are gambling, but it's also gaming. So when you go through your packet, it tells on there the difference between gambling and gaming. And I never really realized that there's a distinct difference between gambling, which is a game of chance, versus gaming, where it requires some level of skill, whether if it's you hitting a button a certain number of times or doing something that increases your odds of winning. But we can definitely get that question about Vinton answered for you. And would you like us to expand that out to other areas around the state as well? Or, okay, because, they're more just the slots. But I would be curious to also know, for the areas in the state where there's a real casino, what before and after has their increases be, if we can find that data. So thank you.
And also just the I guess, addiction rates in gaming and then gambling. So.
Thank you. If you can hold it, please, I'll come to you afterwards. Thank you.
So Councilman Nash, we are now to the homework assignment portion and closing remarks, if you'd like to
Okay.
do that.
So I'll just wrap it up into one. And then, of course, if you all up here have any questions, please feel free to jump in and interrupt me and ask. But they will pass you out your homework. And so, like I said earlier, you all have been given a lot of information. I'm sure you all have seen through social media and the news a lot of the public sentiment and comments about what we're trying to do and what we're talking about. And so you have 2 homework assignments, and you will be graded. You will be graded. Some of you are like, it's been probably decades since you had some homework, right? Some of you. But the first homework assignment is we have a set of questions that we would like you to go out there and ask 5 people in the Roanoke community. And so one of the questions is, when's the last time you've been to the Berglund Center? What did you see last time you came to the Berglund Center? What kind of offerings would you like to see at the Berglund Center? If it's music, well, what kind of music? Is it more hip hop and rap? That was one of the comments in the email, right? Diversifying some of the music offerings. So we want you all to go out and each talk to 5 members in the community and kind of collect some of this data. But if they also say anything that is a question that you haven't thought of or that we haven't addressed, we want to hear that. We want to know what the public is saying and what their opinion is, because we've heard some really great ideas from the community. So we really want to make sure we're gathering those. The second homework assignment is we want you all, either if it's through talking through to your peers who travel, or if it's someplace you've been where you have seen a civic center, a entertainment district, some sort of attraction in another city outside of Roanoke, we want you to tell us where that was. What did you like about it? What's an aspect of it that we can take and not copy and paste back to Roanoke, but something that maybe we should try our best to emulate. So we want to know what's out there, what's working, what did you all like? And feel free to also pose that question as one of your questions to the 5 people you're talking to. Like, hey, where do you and your family go? Oh, we go such and such place. What do you do while you're there? Oh, well, my kids love to do this. It's so much fun. Every time we go, it's packed. We want to know about that because, as I've said the entire time, casino or not, and this will be my closing remarks, casino or not, we're at a point where we need to decide what we're going to do with the Berglund Center. This is a jewel for our community. It is. But it has fallen a little bit shy of what it was promised to be when it was built a little bit over 7 decades ago. And we all are aware of the trauma that it caused to construct this. And so for it to be in the state that it is right now, I think is a real travesty. But we have the power to change that, and we will. But it starts with you all in our community. And so that's why it's so important. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of you and those in the community who have sent emails and have given us good information. And so with that, thank you. Thank you all that came out to participate. And I will turn it back over to, and I would also thank the city staff, our city manager. We are doing this with no consultants. So we are doing this in-house, which means they are doing this on top of the work they do on their day-to-day basis. This is extra work for them. And so I am so appreciative of them and thankful for them. Ms. Spencer?
Thank you, Councilman Nash.
Councilman, you said you were going to have the young lady answer.
I'm going to go around and talk to her when this is concluded.
Angela.
When you speak about something, and you're out here, all of you can participate. It's for everybody, even though it's on the panel, to hear what we have to say.
I can't hear you.
Okay, hold on. I got it. So if I may,
I'll come to you afterwards. And we are doing a public hearing. we will have a day at a focus group session where we would do a public hearing. And this is why I make it a point, as they were doing their homework assignment, to come out and interact with you all and hear what you all have to say and take any questions, like your questions, sir, that I'll ask Mr. Howard for you and try to get you an answer tonight. If not, then we'll work with Mr. Howard to get you that answer if you would give us your contact information. And so I will come and speak to you, but we're trying to stay according to our time. We want to be obedient to our staff that's here and try to make sure we get out in a timely fashion. So that's why we
Councilman
keep
Nash,
these-
if I may. So
Yeah.
this meeting is not a public meeting. And to your
Exactly.
point, there will be a communicated date for a public meeting where interested citizens can register to make their comments, because we do want to make sure that the comments from the public are heard and made. So we will work to make sure that that meeting is published, the date is published, and then the process to participate in that public session will be made available to everyone. So thank you so much for your time and attention this evening. And without further ado, session adjourned.
Thank you.